I've decided that What is a Jew is going to be multi-part videos, so I'm not going to do that right now because I just don't have I just can't do it right now. But that will be coming up. I just want to say thank God for uh, true Jewish people, uh, those who actually practice their religion, and the main thrust of their life is devotion towards God, the Torah, and Moses. These people do not build their lives around the Holocaust because they don't need to. That is not their identity. That is not where they get their identity from. They have that was a part of their history, and they moved past that. But there is a but the consensus of Jews in America is based around the Holocaust. Because if you notice, there's atheistic Jews. How is that even remotely possible? Jews who have no cultural ties to Judaism, don't practice it, nothing. Whose people uh, who are whose mothers were not Jews. They just get Jewish lineage from their father. Their identity comes from the Holocaust, and I think this needs to be said, and I don't think anybody can deny it. And they say, well, why not? Okay. You're building your identity off of somebody attacking you, of a point in history. There are no more Nazis. Where's the Nazi regime? Yeah, okay, neo-Nazis, but those really aren't the Nazis of Germany now, are they? Uh, the this whole thing. Why am I talking so much about this thing? Because I've put it off for way too long. And I started talking about it a little bit, and then the floodwaters just broke open because people were sending me stuff. Yeah, this is you absolutely should talk about this because yeah, I do talk about Islam, and but so does everybody else. Uh, talk about Mormons, but so does everybody else. Where's one issue that people keep avoiding? Well, it's Judaism. And have you noticed I have never attacked Judaism. I've never said one thing. I don't think I've said one thing against it. I disagree with it because I view it as reactionary against Christianity, and I think they did. Well, I know they deny Christ, so they're not Christians. But I go after those people or not go after. I expose the horror of people saying just terrible things, censoring people, and trying to bully other people. This is what the ADL and the JDL does. They bully people. Uh, it's gotten to the point where if you say something if somebody says, if a white person says something against a black person, well, that's new anti-Semitism. See, it's the same spirit that any form of anger, hatred, or animosity towards anyone is just new anti-Semitism now. And it's gotten so ridiculous. Uh, if a Hasidic man gets robbed, it's instantly uh, an anti-Semitic crime, unless it's done by another Hasid. Why does it have to be anti-Semitic? You see a guy walking down the street, weak, not carrying a gun, easy target, go up and rob him. See, they're targeting Jews. Uh, no, but even if they were targeting Jews, are they targeting because they're Jewish, or because they're easy targets? Uh, it's just ridiculous. I saw many reports on YouTube about news channels in Israel and Lebanon and America how a mainline uh, Jewish TV show, a very popular one, slandered Christ repeatedly, made fun of him, made fun of Christianity and Christians. And the people on the streets of Jerusalem said, "Oh, well, in America, that's totally common. Why can't we do that with their religion? They do it all the time." This is sad because this is what the Jews in Israel are told, that the rest of the world hates them. They were raised to Jewish people in Israel are raised to be victims. If the rest of the world wants to kill them, they should have no contact with anybody else. Then we realized that if that was ever said on a main TV show, it would be canceled. It was said by Christians. Now, you say, oh, well, things like Family Guy, they make fun of the Jews. But again, they make fun of everybody. They don't single anybody out. Alex Borstein, who's a Jew, is the character of Lois on the show. And Seth MacFarlane is a confessed atheist. But this whole idea of, well, they do it to us too, so it's fine, that's ridiculous. And plus, what kind of argument is that? You raped that woman. Oh, well, you know, one of their people raped us, so it's fine. It's not an apology. It's justifying your wickedness. I just want to say that it seems the people who are most against the Holocaust industry are actually the devout Hasidic Jews. They're sick of this idea of that anybody is a Jew because they feel a sentiment towards the Holocaust. That these people who are atheists that just like to protect Christianity, well, they're Jews because their father was a Jew, not even their mother, and all this trash. And I think that if they had more of a voice and not the very atheistic people, and this is why again it's going to be so hard to define what a Jew is. I mean, are any of those people in Hollywood Jews? They seem to think they are, and so do many other people. But what the hell? What do they have to do with the Torah? What do they pray? Because you see, the more you pray and the more you ask God for guidance, the less He's going to tell you you should be concerned about what other people think of you, or you need to keep harping on people for the wrongs they did to you. Even if somebody wrongs somebody, I mean, what about the Jubilee year where all wrongs are gone? What about forgiving people? The Christians have always forgiven their enemies, and they've been able to move past it. And Christians aren't a people who see themselves as victims in any way. And I don't know if the Jews ever felt that way until the Holocaust. If a wrong, let me give an example. Like, if I do something wrong to somebody, let's say I fight them or whatever, and I apologize for it, and I spend time in jail for it, and I go around saying I'm sorry, and I pay them obnoxious amounts of money, and I keep saying I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry, this and that, and they keep coming back and keep bringing it up and keep bringing it up and keep saying, well, you did this, right? Yes, I know, I already said sorry, I made full restitution, I was completely punished, even probably beyond the point that I should have been. So it's settled. No, it's never going to be settled. And then you start going after my children and my grandchildren. Well, there's going to be a point where I say, okay, this is unjustifiable, and I need to stand up against you. And then you shout me down as, see, you're against me. This is because you're attacking me, and even if it's defensive. Now, I think you can see how that is very much like how these atheistic Jews deal with the Holocaust. And that is even a bad example because these atheistic Jews are not victims of the Holocaust. And many times their grandparents and great-great-grandparents weren't victims of the Holocaust. They were just potential victims of the Holocaust. So if the case is restated where I didn't harm somebody, I harmed somebody who was in some way related to somebody else, that somebody else is now demanding that I do all the things that I did for the person I harmed for them as well, and anybody else who wants to claim it. So again, it seems like that the people who truly believe in Moses and the Torah and worship God have already gotten past, I don't want to say gotten past, but they don't make this their entire life, and they don't obsess about it, and they don't plan on raising their kids as Holocaust first. They say Torah and Moses first. Maybe those people should have some claim to the chosen people, and not people who totally reject Moses and mock and hate him. Peace to you out there, and What do you guys think about this? That was a part of their history, and they moved past that. But the consensus of Jews in America is based around the Holocaust. Because if you notice, there's atheistic Jews. How is that even remotely possible? Jews who have no cultural ties to Judaism, don't practice it, nothing, who's of a point in history. There are no more Nazis. Where's the Nazi regime? Yeah, okay, neo-Nazis, but those really aren't the Nazis of Germany now, are they? Uh, this whole thing. Why am I talking so much about this stuff? Those who actually practice their religion, and the main thrust of their life is devotion towards God, the Torah, and Moses. These people do not build their lives around the Holocaust because they don't need to. That is not their identity. That is not where they get their identity from. They have people whose mothers were not Jews. They just get Jewish lineage from their father. Their identity comes from the Holocaust, and I think this needs to be said, and I don't think anybody can deny it. And they say, well, why not? Okay. You're building your identity off of somebody attacking. I've decided that What is a Jew is going to be multi-part videos, so I'm not going to do that right now because I just don't have. I just can't do it right now. But that will be coming up. I just want to say thank God for true Jewish people.